Welcome to the squad. He's Icewater. I'm Puma. We're back. Do us a solid. Subscribe, comment, like our page, and tell somebody else about our show. We took a little hiatus, but we're coming back. So we're going to start off with college football. And I'm going to start off by saying this, and I said this during the summer while we were out. I think Ohio State's going to be the number one team again. I think they're going to win the national championship, barring any injuries, because they seem like the strongest team in the country at this particular point. And I'm not just saying that because they beat Grambling like 70-0. I saw them that first week with that game against Texas. And I said this offline that I thought it was an insult to put Texas number one and have Ohio State at number three, and also Penn State at number two ahead of Ohio State, the reigning champion. I see that smirk on your face, man, but I'm going to let you go ahead, man. Let's talk about some college football.
Hey man, you know what? I don't write the script, bro. I don't write the script. But it's been a great. It's been an early, solid season. A lot of questions for a lot of teams, and I thought the first week, not week zero, but the first week was amazing in college football.
Yeah.
And you really got a chance to see in the matchups, key matchups, as to who was real and who you have questions about. You mentioned about Ohio State. Might as well get that out the way. I don't think anybody in Columbus really knew what was going to happen. There was a lot of questions. You knew the offensive line was coming together. They should be pretty good. Wide receivers were really probably got legit, maybe three, maybe even four wide future NFL wide receivers on that squad. The other thing, of course, in the back, secondary and safety, Caleb Downs and the corners were no problem. Linebackers are pretty good. The only thing that really made people nervous was the defensive ends or the defensive line of Ohio State. And I think against Texas, they showed you now you might not know the names early, where you get 4 and 5 star guys like you had before previously. But I think with them now, the factor that say what you want to, I don't know about the head coach, but right now, early on, the defensive coordinator Matt Patricia is showing you he knows what he's doing,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
he
yeah.
has these guys fired up. They flying all over the place, and Lil Manning was looking like,
Yeah.
where'd that guy come from? Where'd that guy come from?
Shut them down for 3 quarters. And I don't
Yeah,
think they were anticipating that. And if that defense plays lights out like that all year, like I
yeah,
said, I think they're going to be national champions again.
yeah. And the thing is with Ryan Day, the head coach, is he purposely dialed back the package that he allowed his quarterback saying to participate in because they didn't want to put him in that position. He thought they could win, do enough to win, and they did. Then you come back against Grambling, and they just open it up just to kind of show you what he's capable of. But I think a lot of people are trying to put the pressure on Jeremiah Smith. They want to see him score all these touchdowns. But the key to what's going to make Ohio State really solid on offense is when you include those other factors, those other guys, right? The Cardinal Tates of the world, Ennis and the running backs and the tight end from Purdue. You get all these pieces going and saying who throws a beautiful ball when he's right, then you have a problem. So slowly but surely you grow and you get some belt games under your belt. And I think they're solid. Looking at some other teams, um, I tell you what, LSU impressed me. I know people don't like their quarterback, but their defense was flying all over the place. And I saw that. Oregon, the people like Oregon, oh no. I need to see Oregon play somebody. I say same thing about Ohio State, but playing Texas is one thing. Penn State too left a little bit to be desired. I know everybody's all
They ranked
excited.
too high. I saw that, and I think they're ranked too high. I thought Texas was ranked too high. Of course, Notre Dame, they
Yeah,
always put Notre Dame in there, but Florida State really impressed me, bro.
really? Okay.
Yeah, that first game against Alabama, I mean, they were knocking Alabama around to the point where the Alabama faithful was like, bring Nick Saban back. No, Nick Saban left just in time for this because he can't stockpile players, and they didn't have the players to pull off the bench to really kind of face those teams. But Alabama got really shut down. Florida State looks good, and Miami, the way they handled Notre Dame, they almost gave the game up at the end. But the way they handled Notre Dame, those two Florida teams, I can't say anything about the Gators. I mean, they dropped one against South Florida last week,
Yeah.
and the Gators are looking kind of like they're looking to try to get another coach. But the Bama coach, he's in hot water already, and no matter what he does, they don't beat Auburn, and they don't get the playoffs because they changed the system where they're playing 9 SEC teams, and so that I thought that was kind of wrong. But if you can't beat anybody outside of the SEC and you're beating up some of the lower seeded teams in the SEC, it doesn't make it automatic that you get to the playoffs, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you 100%. But it's going to be, we're going to find a few things out. I think people really hyped up on Clemson. I think Clemson's a very good team. I watched that first game, and they're acting as if this quarterback is the best thing since sliced bread. He's very good, but it's same, for instance, like like when I'm looking at, they're talking about the Browns need to grab the quarterback from Indiana. And I'm like, you do have two other quarterbacks, young quarterbacks that can probably do more than what these guys are doing. But that's for another day. But I saw Miami. Miami has that swagger back. You get the former Georgia coach, quarterback who fits right in for them. They need some leadership there. So I'm liking them. I think Georgia's going to cause some problems too. So there's a lot to be. We're gonna find out. I think actually this week more pretenders coming out, especially with some of these games, because even though the way that Florida lost, I think they're gonna fight against LSU coming up, right? I think they're gonna fight to try to let you know that they're tough and they're not afraid. South Florida plays Miami. People are talking about these upsets. Will Miami get upset? So we'll see there. And then of course Tennessee and Georgia. I think Tennessee's going to get exposed. I think Georgia's like, you know what? Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Georgia is not the team that we have been looking at for the last few years. Another test I'm looking forward to see Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Can Notre Dame bounce back after we beat that first week? So I'm looking forward to that. And a lot of last week, the second week, a lot of teams, played cupcakes, which you expect that. They want an easy game after the hard first week. But I hadn't seen a lineup like that in the first week of college football in a long time where the top teams were just going after each other. And it's good for college football because I don't know about anybody else, but I miss college football. I missed it all summer. I was like, okay, I had enough of baseball. Let's get into the postseason of baseball. Let's get to college football.
The Grambling Band. Grambling. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and you have been the talk of the weekend. You were the talk of the week. And congratulations to you because, as the coach said, yeah, we know what we was getting into, but we brought our band, and your band was amazing.
Mm.
They came to Columbus, they slammed, they conquered, and they were themselves. I have nothing wrong with the Ohio State University. I used to be a former percussionist myself. I like straight 4/4 time music and things straight, more or less marching. That's wonderful. But on the other hand, there's nothing like a little funk in the band.
In the land of funk.
The land of funk. They came here, represent like they were. I thought they was gonna play Ohio Player song or something. I was hoping they did. But watching them, the beautiful thing about them, Grambling Band, with so many other HBCU bands have as well, they're disciplined, they're jazzy, they're lively. And people think just because you get a little funky, you're not on point. No, when they hit those notes, it's almost to precision. And they practice that. They practice the moves. And when they came to Columbus, even when they walked into the stadium, if you guys have a minute, go out and watch on YouTube them walking into the stadium. People were stopping like it was like you were watching the science project because you don't get that in Columbus. And I was so happy for them. They are amazing. That's why we as a group, I'm shouting it out now, real quick. I know this is an announcement, but we need to come to the HBCU Battle of the Bands. Anybody out there hearing us? I think it's in Atlanta in December or something like that. If you are hearing the word, you can hear the sound of my voice. Please contact us. We want to come. We want to cover because man, woo, man, it's something else. Amazing.
Yeah, we plan to cover a lot of sporting events. We're going out to Las Vegas later this week to cover the fights. I failed to mention earlier that we're going to be talking about the NFL on this show, but stay tuned to our NFL picks. We have the Divine Nine. We have me, Ice, and Pop, along with six others, and we started our picks. Find our Facebook page and get on our Facebook page to see how we're going along. It's been interesting already. It's been interesting already. Some of the cast
Six jokers, six other jokers talking stuff.
talking stuff on the chat. I'm waiting for that to just heat up because the first week everybody's kind of quiet, everybody's kind of like settling in until we get a lead. Let's go to Major League Baseball. I saw my Yankees trying to catch up; they're 2 games behind. You got the Royals trying to make some noise. Detroit is looking good. The Blue Jays are looking good. The Astros get caught cheating again last week. And in the National League, you got the Phillies looking great, along with the Brewers. And I know the Cubs are trying to catch them, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. The Dodgers are holding steady, but they're only 1 game ahead of the San Diego Chargers. I mean, not the Chargers, but the San Diego Padres. I'm thinking football. Football's on the brain. So give us a look at how the playoffs are going to kind of pan out, man.
Man, well, like you almost said a mouthful with everything there too. For the record, not trying to be funny, but Chicago White Sox have been eliminated. Okay.
Oh yeah, already. Yeah, already.
Already. Wow. But Toronto in the AL East, as you said, they look real good. But again, like I told you, every year you come up with that same thing. Oh, them poor Yankees, I don't know what they man, please. I watched. I'm gonna say something to the ladies and gentlemen out there too. New York Yankees have where they do this thing where they do the show the quick replays of the games. I wish they showed that all the time. I watch every single game. I just don't have time to watch every pitch and just give me a quick synopsis. You can show a doubleheader within probably 12 minutes. I just need to know the key points of it. But when I watched that, of course, I saw that the Yankees are still making moves. They're going to be right where they need to be. Question is, can a team like Toronto hold on and push them back along with holding back Boston? In the AL Central, Detroit is just fabulous right now, playing real good baseball. And you said you're not cheating, you ain't trying. Don't be mad at Houston. That's what they do.
How you keep getting caught? That's what
Hey.
you're going to cheat, but how you keep getting caught? You should learn the lesson.
He said, I thought y'all got rid of them trash cans. Anyway. So they're like, just go on to find us. We'll get rid of them. Just go on to find us. But in the NL East, Philadelphia's playing real good baseball right now.
Yeah.
So, which is really surprising. And spending enough money you would think in the past years to get things done. It's almost like a teeter-totter in a way because you think about it. Phillies are really up in the standings, leading, and then you see where Washington is really at the bottom. So you remember a few years ago, Washington was the champions and whatnot and made a nice run, but Philadelphia's making that move. Milwaukee's playing well in the Central. It's good for them as well, leading that division. And of course, as you mentioned, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. It's almost as if it doesn't even really matter. It would just be nice. I would, if nothing else, I hope the Padres make the playoffs, even if that's a wild card, right? Because I want to see them getting hold on. Because for a number of years now, they've been making moves or at least trying to make a run. And then you were playing against any other division, they might be right there in the mix, if not leading. Leading it had not been the Dodgers, not for the Dodgers. But I'd like to see what they're going to do down the line.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll be giving you highlights of baseball because it's heating up. And, we're going to see what teams are going to be really making their bones in October. And so I like it when it's this part of the year when you have baseball, football, and then basketball October 21st. That's when the season starts. So we're going to have all 3 sports, and especially college basketball. That's what we do. Let's go to the NFL real quick, man. And there were some games that stood out. And I'll go first with the games that stood out. Of course, the game last night with Baltimore and Buffalo. I thought the game was over. You're holding your face. But I ran across a statistic because in my NFL picks, and make sure you check out our NFL pick show. In my NFL picks, I picked Buffalo, and it got to a point where I just don't trust Baltimore anymore. And I ran across a statistic that says John Harbaugh has blown 17 double-digit second half leads since he's been at Baltimore. And so I used to always think, oh, the players are choking, the players are choking. It's the coach. It's the coach. And what I saw of Josh Allen last night, usually Josh Allen over the years would make bonehead plays and take his team right out of, playoff contention or not playoff contention or losing games or losing playoff games. Last night he showed that he matured because he was doing just enough, not overdoing it, to make sure all his weapons were, in use. And they really pulled out one of the best. It was like one of the best games of the day, maybe probably the best game of the season. It should be an instant classic on the NFL Network. The other game that really kind of stood out to me, and you're going to hear me say this again, the Chargers and the Chiefs. And I'm going to say this until somebody proves me wrong. When the enemy was let go of the Chiefs, it seemed like that offense went the other direction, and they cannot score more than 21 points per game. They're not creative offensively. You got Mahomes running around like he's in the backyard trying to, run around for 10 seconds and finding somebody open. The receivers can't get open for some reason. And I'm thinking that defense they have is not good enough to hold teams under 21 points. So I'm not sure they're going to be in the mix. I'm thinking, and I know it's the first game, I'm thinking we're talking about Baltimore and Buffalo in the AFC Championship game because I don't think Kansas City can keep winning like they're winning, only barely getting to 21 points and trying to squeak out games. It's not going to work. Your thoughts, man?
No, I agree with you. I think there's going to be some different teams when it comes down to the postseason, but definitely got to start with Baltimore versus Buffalo. And I understood the stat about the coach, but Baltimore for real, seriously, seriously, Baltimore. It was right there, and granted,
Yes.
kudos to Buffalo for getting it done. But I would caution you, so you can write this down, just like you gave that stat. Here's the stat I'm gonna give you on 9/8/25, right? At whatever time it is. I think last year, the last couple of years, Buffalo during the regular season, that they are capable of winning big games and they win games during the regular season. And then when they get to the postseason, they end up playing the same team some kind of way and they just disappear. They did it for years with Kansas City. I hope for Josh Allen's sake that he has gotten over the hump. But I'm not from Missouri, but you're gonna have to show me. And I know that's an old adage they used to say, but I think I'm just gonna be cautious. I think he's talented. I think they have a good team, but I think there's somewhat of a mental block. Like they don't believe they can win. And until I crown them, as Dennis Green says, I'm gonna wait and see what they do the rest of the way. But although it's a good start, hey, kudos, you look good. It's week one. We got a long way to go. Long way to go. So I think that's one of the things I'm looking at too. I'm not really more just kind of bounce around is what things surprised me and what impressed me. I was surprised by the way that the Houston Texans struggle offensively.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with CJ Stroud. I think too with the factor that you have mixing out, they're kind of banged up in the backfield a little bit. The defense leaves a little bit left to be desired. I think they still need to find a way to score some points. And I was surprised by their effort there, by what happened. Was impressed by Matt Stafford, right? With the Rams. Matt Stafford looked like he's slinging the ball again. The only thing is he has a different core group of receivers. So Cooper Kupp's gone now. So now you have a bunch of new receivers. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting there. Two other things, if I may. Daniel Jones.
No.
The revitalization of Daniel Jones.
No, stop it. Stop.
You got to give it up to him because he looked.
Stop.
Let me just say, hey, he had a hell of a game. He looked good. But I want to say that, and I'm going to my other real point. My other point is, what are they doing in Miami? They're horrible. I chose them thinking, oh, you know, Tua's back, right? Everything's going. You got people going through divorces, but it's Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They're starting young quarterback. He can't play. Daniel Jones was horrible last year. He picked them apart. I'm like, do y'all even want to play?
Yeah.
I think Miami, they're showing a pattern of the way they're playing football, and it's not looking good. They're losing. People were talking about there are a lot of expectations, but they just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be suckered in again. I don't think they're really that good, and that's how that was. One last point. Even though they lost, I'm liking the Jets. I
Don't
kind of
worry.
got a soft spot for the Jets.
Don't.
Aaron Glenn, okay, the head coach. They lost the game. I
Yeah.
think they could have won the game.
Yes.
But the fact that these guys are playing with reckless abandon and playing with a little oomph, which I think comes from Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields, a couple things. I mean, please, man, you thought he was getting rocked in Chicago. My Lord. Pittsburgh had a vendetta. They put it on. I was surprised he got up from a couple of those things. You try to hurt, you hurt Field, you try to hurt my man Garrett Wilson. It was bad. They were so much more physical than the Jets, Pittsburgh, that is. But the Jets showed some power. They showed like some oomph, and I haven't seen that from them in a long time. For Aaron Glenn's sake, I hope they can carry that through the season. Does not mean Super Bowl, may not even mean playoff, but sometimes you just got to work on becoming tough, winning games that you can, and building, as far as building each year on your accomplishments.
I'll talk about that game, and then we go to our last second shots or anything you want to talk about afterwards. But don't everybody jump on the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon right now. He beat a team that he helped sabotage. Okay, he beat a team that he helped sabotage, bringing players in and all that other stuff. I want to see him in division games against the Baltimores, against the Clevelands, against the Cincinnati, because they're going to clean his clock. They're coming after him. They're going to put him in. Your boy Garrett already talked about. I look forward to putting him in the retirement. I mean, they're gunning for him already. So you think Aaron Rodgers is back? Cool. Keep blowing smoke up his behind. Keep the networks who like to amp up the Paytons and amp up this and amp up that. Cool. Keep doing it. But when they get in the divisional play, I was looking at the schedule when they get in divisional play, and I think they play some of the top teams like Buffalo, things of that sort. He just beat a team and barely beat a team that he helped sabotage, and then he wants to talk about I enjoy beating them. No, you put that team together because they were trying to, cater to you. So I'm not blowing, any horns for Aaron Rodgers right now. Even though, and I have to mention this, I'm not following any teams anymore. I don't have a favorite team anymore. I'm done with Pittsburgh. I'm done with the Giants. I don't have a favorite team anymore. I just watch football. Okay, I do have favorite college teams, but professional teams, I'm getting off as far as NFL football. But I just thought that they were just really just kissing his booty after he won that game, like he's back and all this. No, he's not. No, he's not. And you can tell he's slow. He can't get to things that he used to. And the Jets, they're a young team. They're a young team trying to get it together. But if they were played in week 8 as opposed to week 1, I think they would have won that game. I really do. Let's go to your last second shot, man.
Yeah, last second shot. There's a lot of things I already got a chance to speak about Grambling, so I appreciate that. I was thinking in general. So I saw a situation where there's a second year player in playing for a certain team. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but they played college football. It was a rookie year last year, and they did pretty good. And they were expected to be a major contributor on this team coming up for this year, and they got hurt during the preseason, and they're going to be out for at least 5 weeks, maybe even up to week 9. And I started thinking about it, and then the team that the person's playing for, of course, during the draft, drafted somebody in his position, right? And the rookie came out and was fabulous. And I just started thinking about that. I started thinking about the injury. I started thinking about with the young man coming back in week 9. And then I also thought about what if he's hurt and he can't play again, right? Or to the point where he coming back and he's not the guy, right? He had opportunity, got hurt, and not nothing that he did. But my point with all this is the being said that parents, loved ones, even coaches and people that have young people coming up that have a future as potential as professional athletes in any sport, in anything or whatever you're doing, take time to understand that it could be over like that, especially when you're talking about college football, pro football. And I know we get excited because we talk about the potential, we talked about the future, what could be, taking care of people, buying houses, buying cars, uh, generational wealth, taking care of your family, making people's dreams come true. I think that's amazing and great. But do yourself a favor while you're moving forward with the young men or women, whoever it may be. Make sure you take a step back and have the discussion with them about what's my backup plan. What's my backup plan? Because when I thought about this young man and this person, I thought about what are you gonna do if you can't play anymore?
Right.
Did you get your degree? Did you even think about a degree? Did you think you had made it? And the other people that are counting on you, what are they going to do? They're going to be calling your phone. Oh my God, you bought my house. You paying? Can you pay my mortgage? Can you still? And so there's so many things involved. Just do me a favor. If you're in this position or you know somebody, make sure that they think about taking up a secondary, come up with a backup plan. Also, too, that at least in college, and I'm not sure what they can do in the pros, there might be an opportunity to come up with some secondary insurance to make sure these injuries ever come up.
Players are covered. Yeah.
Yeah, for the players where you might be able to uh, get some money, get some cash if your career's over. I don't want to be a person that's really talking down or talking ill about anything, but it's the reality is so true. And when I saw that, it touched me, and I just wanted to share.
Good shot. My last second shot is to who's ever scheduling the NFL games. Why didn't you schedule the Ravens and the Bills on Monday night instead of putting them on Sunday night? And may have put the Vikings and the Bears on Sunday night instead of Monday night because I live in Chicago. I don't have a favorite team anymore. But I would much rather watch the Ravens and the Bills on Monday night. You would have got a great coverage, just like you got Sunday night, and find another team because the Vikings and the Bears, I don't know. I don't know who's really interested in that game. You know, not trying to hate on those two teams, but other than Chicago, who really wants to watch it? So do a better job in scheduling these games and put the games on that people want to see. I thought the Chargers, Kansas City game, the Philadelphia, Dallas games, those are great. But now you just kind of going out on a whimper with this particular game on Monday night. Stay tuned for our rest of our shows, the fight game. We're going to talk about some boxing and the NFL picks. So we have the Divine Nine picking, and they are ready and they are hungry to win that title, to win that money at the end of the year. But me and Ice is still on top. We'll talk to you soon.